and welcome to the After Stream Soup podcast. Yeah, we were trying so hard to get through that one. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. How's it going? If you were here live right now, first of all, appreciate you live listeners. Mwah, mwah. I kiss you so much. Mwah, mwah. Then you've seen it already. But if you have not, Lami especially has been particularly.
She's in a mood tonight. She is in a mood.
Oh my goodness. But thanks everybody for coming and listening in. Welcome to episode 8 of the After Stream Soup podcast.
Yes.
We have
welcome.
We have a very special guest with us today. It's Brandy.
Hey.
Woo, 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 woo,
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Let's
much
go.
for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. I
Yes.
appreciate you so much.
Of course.
Brandy here is a good friend of ours. She is a fellow content creator. Brandy, why don't you tell us a little bit about like what you do and what kind of stuff you do and your beautiful face.
I die a lot in video games, and I
Nice.
tell true crime stories while I do it.
Amazing. It's amazing,
It's
honestly.
a great combo. It is a great combo.
Mhm.
Very
I
good.
honestly, I was like, I don't see a lot of people doing true crime while playing video games, so maybe I should start something.
No, it's honestly a great combo.
Oh, it's
'Cause, like,
amazing. It's for the
You can just be
girlies.
vibing with the game, and then also you're like, oh my god, he did what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like when people do Q&As about their life story when they're gaming and stuff like that. It
Mhm.
adds a little bit
Mhm.
more, like, a little more depth, I think, and I
Mhm.
really like it. I really enjoy listening to your stories when I watch your
Yes.
stream.
Thank you.
Yes. It's a treat. And
It
we
is.
thought we would invite Brandy on today for this very special spooky episode of the
Spooky.
podcast. You know, it being Halloween time at the time of recording this anyway. It's October.
It is.
So we've all brought our own little spooky dooky stories today, but also I'm so sorry. I just realized, ladies, how are we today? And also, what kind of soup are you having? I forgot about this. This is kind of like the whole bit that we're
A
kind
whole bit, yeah.
Are we? I personally am having a nice tall glass of water soup.
I have
It's water.
some peach tea with a little bit of honey in it.
I've got some clear soup in
In
a
a-
fancy cup.
It's a blessed vibe. And Brandy, are you consuming anything vaguely soup-like? Do tell
I
us.
have a ice water soup.
There we go.
Very good, very good, very good.
Fantastico. And how was your days going? How's your days going? How are we? Are we holding up all right? We're surviving the fall weather.
Pretty good. Yeah, surviving is definitely a good word to use.
Yeah.
Little Miss Texas over there being like, I don't
She's
know,
like, oh,
oh my god, it's
No,
so cold.
okay.
It's like 80
Okay.
degrees. It's so cold.
And first of all, it's 77. Second of all, I'm freaking out because don't look at the soundboard. If you see that the golf clap is missing, I'm sorry. I accidentally deleted it when I was trying to press it for Brandy.
Oh my gosh.
I appreciate the thought and the effort.
How do you add that back? How do you add that back? Isn't that like one of the Discord base ones?
Hang on. I got it. No, wait. No, I don't have it. I don't have it.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
It should be in the just Discord sounds though. So
Wait. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's in the Discord. Okay, we're back.
Added it
We're
to my
good. We're
favorites, so
good.
it's there. It's at the top now. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
We're good. We're good.
This
We're
is
saved.
really what a start. I just wanted to say that I did karaoke last night and I did great and I got complimented twice. 3 times.
Heck
There you
yeah.
go.
So
Good job.
not just
Good
on the
voice.
karaoke part, like once on the karaoke part and then
I
twice
mean,
on how hot I am.
Abby's always
That's
wanting
true.
us to do karaoke, so you know,
Yeah.
it's not a shock.
I'm gonna get them
Yeah.
to do it at some point. It's gonna happen.
Hell yeah, we should have a karaoke party. A Discord karaoke party.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you, Brandy. Finally, somebody who gets me.
I'll be the beatboxer.
Lami's the hype
Hype.
hype man.
I
She'll be
just
in the
realized.
background like, hey, let's go.
Woo, woo,
I just
woo.
want to be part of
I could not catch it.
It cut out. It cut out.
your singing.
I just wanna be part of your symphony. When you hold me and
yeah, there
That's
you
me.
go.
That's me.
Sorry,
cheering
I'm
for
multitasking because I
Mhm.
realized I forgot to tweet about this.
You. So
Oh, I tweeted about it.
I
didn't
didn't tweet about it. I forgot to tweet.
I thought about tweeting about it.
You don't have to tweet about it, I guess. But, you know, after stream
I'll reshare it.
Okay, that sounds good.
fucking what do I say? Oh, we're live. Lice? Nope. Live now.
Lice. Lice.
We're itching to
There's a-
talk to
there's
you
a-
guys.
There's a lot of stuff that we were not prepared for today, but it's okay. I mentally, I think we're all just a little drained from the week. The week and the month has been
Mhm.
like a little bit tiring.
October is a
Yes.
very busy and draining month for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I am looking forward to sharing some.
Yes. Oh, she gonna sneeze?
Some stories.
Yeah,
Some
that, sorry.
stories.
And some sneezes.
And some sneezes. A chew.
The slurping.
Sorry for anybody who
Okay.
don't like those sounds, but I think most people do like those sounds, at least a little
The
bit.
ASMR.
Well,
Krusty called it an ASM artist the other day. And I'm like, that is smart as shit. I've never heard that.
That is
big,
actually pretty
wrinkly
smart.
brain.
Yeah.
That is big wrinkly brain. We might have to get that guy on this podcast at some point too.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, there's so many friends of ours and people that we just that would be good.
But Brandy's our first guest.
Yeah, I mean technically,
Yeah.
First
An
guest.
honor.
Yes.
Wolf was like a guest kind of for a second, but that was just to verify some things about him and Neon.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we're talking about, check out the last episode of the After Stream Crew podcast,
Yeah.
available on
Oh,
Spotify
yeah.
and YouTube.
Never ever eaten soup.
Never
it
have
out.
I ever eaten soup? Except we have eaten soup. Anyway,
It was a catchy title, okay, Abby?
it wasn't. No, it was good.
Never
it was
have
good.
I ever eaten soup.
It was good. It was good soup. Good soup.
It was.
Good soup.
I guess we can get started. Neon, are you prepared? Are you ready
I
to
am.
share your
I am
very first
prepared.
spooky dooky story?
I'm like, I don't know why I'm nervous, because like
Ooh,
you know,
oh, we need
I'm
some.
just
We
telling
need
the
some.
story.
Hang on, I need some spooky dooky ambiance. You guys won't be able to hear it, but I.
Man, that's some spooky
That's the
ambiance.
spookiest noise ever.
DMCA free. Spooky. Yeah, spooky,
We're
spooky.
getting the spooky
There's a
music.
song called Spooky Spooky. Uh-oh. No. Oh, okay, never
Oh,
mind. I
oh,
just
I was
didn't
like,
click it. I thought I was
okay.
crashing. That would have been
Oh
unfortunate.
shit. I'm sorry. I won't touch it anymore.
Okay, let's see. It's spooky. No, you're fine. No, not you, Lami. It was like my Spotify shit.
I feel like I heard something like twice, but it might have been
Oh, there we go.
something else. I don't know. We're good though. We're solid. Is that your talking stick?
We got
Yes. Hello, world.
She's holding a tripod. For everyone listening, she's just holding a tripod up.
I put on a little spooky music. I'll turn it off when you get started.
It's
with
my
it,
head pod.
Okay.
But here, I'll turn it up for a second so people can.
That's
really...
that's what's
Yeah.
holding your head to your body.
Yeah.
That tripod.
This is what's keeping my head in place.
Ah, there we go. There we
Handy.
And
go.
then whenever I turn, it goes like that. And like that.
Nah. Okay.
Nothing spookier than a tripod head. Am I right? Am I right? The music is really adding to it. Y'all should fucking. Ooh.
Here, wait,
I'm bringing it.
gonna
I'm
turn
bringing it
up
louder.
real
Dun dun dun
quick.
dun
Oh,
dun dun dun
spooky.
dun 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 dun. Dun, dun,
Very
dun,
spooky,
dun,
getting in the
dun,
spooky
dun,
vibes.
dun, 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 dun. All right, Neon.
Okay.
Tell
So,
us your tale.
this story
Tell us.
takes place in Scotland.
Who's Scotland? Scotland.
Scotland's wonderful.
Shrek,
Oh,
Shrek is down. Shrek is
Forever!
down. Okay. So when I visited Scotland, we went to the undergrounds of Scotland.
Mhm.
And during the daytime, they just kind of tell you the history of that area and they kind of give you a tour of the underground and like the backstory of like the plague and all that stuff. So backstory to my backstory is that area was like it was a tall city, like like those old movies where like there's just like tall buildings and there's just people living in all of them.
In the old
So
things.
in like 17th century, 16th, 17th century, like
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
people are walking around in the mud and there's stuff just getting thrown everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gross, right? So Edinburgh, the like Royal Mile, that area, they kind of just took that part of the city and just kind of chopped off the top half. Like not the whole city is on top of another city, but like just a bit of it is. So like there was people still living underneath this building, like they were trying to get people out of there because obviously they're like, we don't want people living underneath us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's some ghost stuff that goes on under there now because of people that didn't want to leave and all that stuff. But I'm gonna tell you about this little girl named Abandoned Annie.
Love that name for her.
Fucking Annie. Oh my god.
So the tours I was talking about earlier, I think they started up in like the 90s ish, roughly. I was trying to find the exact time, but couldn't quite figure it out. But during that time, a psychic decided to go on these tours because she was filming, what was it called? The like the most haunted places in Britain. So she was traveling all over the UK, going to a bunch of haunted areas. And so she went on this tour just to kind of like see the underground. She figured there'd probably be ghosts and stuff under there. And so she went into, it's called Mary's King Close, which in Scotland, close is an alley. That's what they call it.
Okay.
And so she was on that tour, and there's another close called, I think, Allen's Close, and there's a bunch of like rooms in there. And so she went to go in one of the rooms, and she said she felt this like presence of like sadness and just like abandonment and like, so she was like, I can't go in this room, like it's too powerful, I'm just getting overwhelmed with sadness and like a very uncomfy feeling. But eventually she gets in there, and she says she feels this little like tug on her like trousers, and she said she sensed the presence of a little girl who is
So
sad.
sorry.
Go for it.
Sorry, I just
Sure.
sneezed. I apologize.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh yeah, you're good.
But she felt a little hand pulling on her trousers, and said that there was a small girl's presence there, and she
Her trousers,
yes.
not her pants.
Hang
her
on,
trousers.
I'm lost. I'm like trying to
Her
first my story.
pantaloons.
Yes, her pantaloons.
Pantalones.
So once
Her
she was in the room, she
pantaloons.
felt the girl pull on her pants.
Her
and
trousers.
Her trousers. And so she communicated with her and found out that her name was Annie and that she had lost
Annie,
her
are you
favorite
okay?
doll.
Would you tell us that you're okay?
And she was heartbroken because she
Son
could
of
not
a-
find her doll.
He struck you.
So she went up there, bought a doll, and brought it back down to her. And
Bought a
she
doll.
felt like the spirit was a lot more content. The sadness wasn't as prominent in the room anymore. So she figured, now she's happy. She has a toy to play with, chilling. But people still feel like a little hand tugging on like their pants or their hair, or like this like cold breeze kind of running around, like kind of like not like up to like your top part, but like, child level, like someone running around. And so now people also will travel there and bring Annie little toys. So like there's just a whole shrine of dolls and toys and teddy bears and stuff like that. And sometimes the main doll will go missing. So they have no idea where that doll goes. But sometimes on the tour it's just not there
Oh, yay.
and it will come back. I will say that like when I was there, before they even said anything about like a ghost or anything like that, I definitely got this like very eerie feeling while I was in there. And I could feel like wind, even though like you're underground and like the only opening to, that area is like out in the hallway, like out like way, way far out. So I could still feel a breeze. So like that was very spooky. My mom went on the like ghost tour later in the evening and got some like ghost Orby pictures, which at that time I was like, Mom, I'm sleeping above this. I don't want to see it. I'm okay.
I don't want
wanna
that
see
near
it.
me.
But yeah, they also see a ghost wearing very dark clothes, like a long dark dress. Sometimes they think it might be one of the plague doctors in that time.
Ooh, fun.
But they eventually, since Annie, they were trying to figure out who Annie was. And they think Annie was a little girl who got the plague and her parents just abandoned her because people would just do that back then. Like their family member would get the plague, ditch them, put an
That's so
X on the
sad.
door, and just lock it type of thing.
Ditch
No.
him.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
Oh
you.
my god.
So,
They did that
so
in
there's
that
a lot of other
vampire
ghosts
movie.
down there. So yeah, there's a lot of other ghosts down there too, probably for similar reasons. And then, yeah,
Yikes.
so that is the tale of Abandoned Annie.
Wow.
Damn.
Speaking on the plague, did you know that
Mhm.
Ring Around the Rosie is about the plague?
Yeah.
I knew it was
Nice.
something fucked. I just couldn't remember what it was. Yeah, of course we would be singing about the goddamn plague. Like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
Oh
sweet
yeah,
though.
yeah. Like
They would
it's
bring
nice
her
that
toys.
they, the psychic was like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring her a doll. Let's try and make her a little happy." But they're thinking that's the reason, like they were sensing so much like heartbreak and stuff, is because she got abandoned. Like she was
Mhm.
probably so sick that she didn't know where anyone was, and then just no one was
That's so
there.
sad.
Mm-hmm. It's actually,
But
yeah,
they
that's
do
pretty
get ghost
sad.
pictures every once in a while of her, apparently, in her room. I couldn't
Okay, I
find
gotta blow
any.
my
Crazy,
nose.
dude.
Sorry.
No, go for it. But I'm glad I didn't see anything when I was there. Because if I would have saw something, I would have been like, I was already freaked out being under there. Like, I can show you guys pictures later of kind of what it looks like. But they also have like mannequins set up. So like there's a plague doctor mannequin. All these rooms are very dimly lit. So like it's kind of a creepy feeling. They have dolls laid out that look like they have the plague, so it's kind of gross. Queen Mary, Mary Queen of Scots, she's there too. So yeah, it's very interesting. So you already get like a creepy feeling 'cause you're underground. It's very kind of claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah.
But then you add the ghosties on top of it, and it's like, I don't know if I want to be here right now.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think it's sweet that, they decided to be like, she's a kid. We're gonna just bring her some toys and dolls and try and make her feel less abandoned. Kind of a mean name, calling her Abandoned Nanny, but
Yeah,
of course
like-
Imagine,
they just call her that. They don't know if Annie's actually her name or not.
Imagine
like,
her
they
being in
can't
the
find any records.
afterlife and like going through that place, and they're like, "Hey, look, it's Abandoned Annie over there."
I mean, like if they're just like, "Hey Annie, what's up?" You know, like
And she's like, my
think they
name
just
Were
went
you
along.
abandoned?
I think they just went along with the A name, being like, "Oh, abandon Annie," because she was abandoned. I'm like, that's so sad,
So messed up.
so messed
So
up,
messed up.
tragic, one might say. His widow
Very
is so
tragic.
tragic.
Magic.
So tragedy.
so tragic.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah,
well, thank you
that's
for
very
sharing
sad.
that story,
Yes.
Neon. It was beautiful. It was creepy. It's everything that we were looking for today in our spooky dooky special
Here we
go. Oh,
Very spooky.
Yeah,
Very
I'll
spooky.
share.
I broke.
I'll share some pics of the ghost orbs on Twitter and Instagram and all that
on
stuff,
on Twitter,
and in the Discord. You know.
and in the Discord, and in
Yeah.
everywhere you want to look.
Mhm. Lamia, are you ready?
Are you ready? Are your
Yeah.
lines ready?
I actually,
Are you ready
was
to
actually
scare
able-
us?
I was actually able to think of a couple of stories that I remember. They actually happened. to me.
Okay, there we go.
But I'm pretty sure I've told you guys this story before. So
Mhm.
this is something I experienced. You don't have to take my word. You like
Mhm.
whoever's listening, but I mean, it is something that I personally experienced when I was a kid. So maybe I was just a kid. Maybe someone was pranking me, but whatever. Anyway, getting right into
Abby's
She's
cat
freaking
is
out.
deciding to join in on the podcast today.
She's just like, nah.
He's such a bitch. Shut up!
He doesn't believe your story already.
I
He
know he's
doesn't.
already
He's
like,
already
this is
like,
BS,
bullshit.
mommy.
So,
Oh no, she's
oh my
gone.
god.
Abby's gone.
I don't know
I
how much of
know.
him you can actually hear, but he was like going off for a second there.
Yeah, he
But
was.
we could hear him.
He was pretty rowdy. He was a rowdy boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rowdy boy.
A rowdy boy.
Yeah.
But going right into the story.
Uh-huh.
Basically, I was in second grade, I think, if I can remember. I was in
Widdle
second grade.
Wommy.
Oh, widow wommy.
Just a
I was
wild
very
girl.
widow at me. And we had like this rumor going around that our school was haunted, which like, like I'm naturally like I'm very afraid of like anything paranormal, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explore it. I find it interesting, but I'm also freaked out by it. Like I'm legit like scared. So anyway, um I was a kid doing kid things. Basically for our elementary school, the rule was you can only go one person at a time. No two people, you can't go in a group. You
Mhm.
have to ask the teacher one person at a time. Okay, whatever. And our school was like like I don't know, it felt so cold. Like I don't know how to describe it. Like it wasn't like an elementary school where it was like fun and full of life. It just old
Felt
and
like a
strict,
prison.
right? Felt like a prison. Yeah.
Felt like a prison.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Going back there when I'm older, I see that there was a lot of kid things there,
Mhm.
but like just thinking about it at that time. So
In her
I
child mind, she was like, "This is prison."
this is hell. I want to go home. So when I was in when I went to the bathroom one day, I had to go to the bathroom. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, like I'm gonna
As
I'm gonna
one
ask the teacher,
does.
ask the
Need
teacher,
to-
as one does throughout the day. Went to the bathroom. I was a little like, you're not supposed to use the handicap stalls, but I did anyway. Who hasn't, honestly?
I do it all the time.
They're pretty big, I'm not gonna lie. So I went, no one else was in there. I was like, okay, cool. So if someone else comes, I'll just leave. So went, did my business, left the bathroom stall. I was washing my hands. Like I remember it clearly. I remember everything clearly. I was washing my hands, and then all of a sudden from the last stall I heard like this banging sound on the door. Like it was fully closed. Fully closed. On the door, all I heard was this.
Mm-mm.
Like
Oh,
you heard a little bit of that?
Well,
A little bit? Or so it was like banging, like yeah,
yeah.
there you go, like that. So imagine like those, like if you've ever been in America, those of you who aren't in America, or those of you who live, we have the bathroom stalls that are like really up high.
You can see underneath them. Yeah.
You can
Yeah,
see
you can
everything.
basically you can see
You're fully
everything. So
exposed.
yeah, so that's what I heard. The door, I just heard it banging, like from the inside, and I was like,
Mhm.
"Hello, is anyone there?"
By
Like,
the
you know,
sound
like,
effects.
"Hello." Like, "Hello," and then, like, I was like, "Okay, whatever, it's probably just, like, someone, like, fucking around, right?" But I don't wanna get in trouble.
Yeah.
So, kept washing my hands, went to go get the paper towel dispenser because it was right next to that stall,
Oh, of
right?
course.
So,
Of
of
course,
course it was
yeah.
over there. Went to go
Mhm.
get the paper towels, heard it again. Like, heard the banging sound again. And I was like, I stopped midpoint and I was like, "Hello, is there anyone else?" But in my, like, little kid voice, because I didn't wanna, like, if we screamed or, like, were loud or anything, the
Mhm.
teachers would notice. So, I didn't wanna make it obvious because I didn't wanna get anyone who was in there in trouble, right?
Mhm.
I was like, "Hello?" So, I went to the stall, looked under, like, a little bit underneath, because you get that kid curiosity,
Mhm.
and didn't see any feet.
Oh,
I looked through I kinda, like, you know how you're kinda scaling to see if someone's in there, but you don't, like, look fully?
yeah, like, you're, like,
Yeah.
looking kinda for the
Like
silhouette.
yeah,
Yeah. You're kind
so,
of just like
look for
wobbling back and forth like an owl
yeah,
trying to get
so,
balance and just like,
I looked in between the cracks and stuff, no one was there.
hell no.
Like, no one, and it was fully closed, and then I heard it again when I was like, I was like, "Okay, whatever," like, it was
Mhm.
I wanna say I was like, it probably just imagined it, you know, because you don't know what to think in that situation. You're like, "What the fuck did I just witness?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "I'm gonna pretend I didn't see it." So then I walked out and I heard the banging again and I fucking ran. I didn't tell anyone, dude. I didn't tell
She's
anyone.
sprinting.
Yeah,
Hell
I didn't tell
nah.
dude, that was the first time I experienced that, and I'm like, "Bruh, that shit was freaky as fuck.
Nah.
Freaky as fuck."
Nah.
And
Nah.
I that is the sole reason why I held my restroom in all the way up until high school. Never went
Oh
at school.
Oh my
Never.
gosh.
Never. 8
No.
hours. 8 hours I would hold that
Mommy.
shit in.
the real
8
Got
spooky
you
hours.
thing was
spooked.
the UTIs that you got
Dude,
along the
literally. I'm like,
way.
I'd rather get a UTI than experience that shit again, man. That was horrifying.
Oh my gosh. And about your
I will
mom,
shit
like your
my
parents are
pants.
like, "Why are you not going to the bathroom at school?" And you're like, "It's scary."
It's scary. Dude, literally, like, I mean, it was a legit scary place. There was this house in, like, well, okay, like, going to that story later, but like that was the first story I had.
Mhm.
Freaky, definitely the freaky one of the freakiest things to ever happen to me.
Hell nah.
But yeah.
Well, what's your other story?
Oh, are we doing all of them or are we taking turns?
Well, I
I
mean,
mean,
if your story, yours was a little shorter, so
yeah.
I feel like you could
Mhm.
get in a little more if you want to go.
Alrighty. Second story. So, oh fuck, I thought I saw something. I'm freaking myself out. So
Roll
I'm
back the
freaking
tape. Roll
myself
back
out
the tape.
already. Anyway, I saw. Okay, so when I was in
Oh
third
yeah.
grade,
Oh
same
yeah.
elementary school, same everything. We
Mhm.
had this house in the back of what do you call it? In the back of our elementary school. The grass was never cut, trees were overgrown, house was
Mhm.
dirty, everything, right? We didn't even know if anyone lived there. The story was is that someone whose daughter committed suicide resided in that house and apparently she died after that, whatever.
Mhm.
Kind of that story.
There's always
Mm,
those
So
houses, yeah.
yeah.
there's always those houses. So we one day they were playing soccer near that house and they
Mm,
had put the ball over. So what does one of the smart kids do? He
My God, a
goes
W.
over. He goes over,
smart in air
gets
quotes. I don't know about that,
gets the
man.
ball. He doesn't even toss it back over. This idiot's holding it in his hand and trying to climb the fence. Climbs the fence, looks back, and then he sees like blue eyes looking at him, like really like bright blue eyes.
Like reflecting, like
Like
light
kind
up
of
eyes.
like light up eyes, like they're just like bright blue eyes. That's from what he told everyone. So, and they were peering through the curtain, you know. So it's not like I don't think it's anything paranormal, but it was definitely creepy, you know.
Mhm.
Like it was all dark, and then you just see like two glowing eyes looking at you, and he ran back over, and he was like, "Ah!" He started
Oh,
Yeah.
crying,
nah,
That would
B.
be that'd be terrifying. Like, nah. I'd be out of there so fast.
I don't
and I never knew the story. I just remember him crying.
listen. That kid would be one of the kids that died in the horror movies. He'd be
Oh
Georgie,
yeah,
Mhm.
okay? Like, you don't
Yeah.
fucking go. Everybody's like, don't stay away from the spooky house. It's in there, you know. And he's like, I'm gonna go get the
Now
ball.
I gotta get my ball.
Yeah, now I gotta get my
I'm
ball.
I'm smart. Guess
I
what?
gotta
The
get
nerd
my
dies.
sailboat. Fucking idiot, dude.
I mean, I'm just saying, Georgie kind
Idiot.
of deserved it. He did it to himself.
Yeah,
He
cause like,
did, dude. He's an idiot.
goddamn, you see a stranger in the fucking sewer, and you're like, yeah, I'll come down and float too, you dumb
Not
fuck.
just
Like,
a stranger, a clown stranger. Like,
Oh yeah, you
Like,
see like the
extra
creepy.
scary.
First of all, how did you even get down there?
well, the gaps used to be a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There's
that's
some
true.
areas where like you can fully like go in the sewer, like in some
Uh-huh.
some places.
Now I'm just looking behind me because I'm getting freaked out.
It's just the moose, Lummy. It's just the moose.
Yeah,
you can
my-
hold on to the moose if you want.
My roommate decided to go out of town last minute yesterday.
Oh
So
god.
I'm home alone right now, and as soon as we're done this, I'm turning
Oh.
on all the fucking lights in my house.
Well,
Mhm.
so
Oh yeah.
when she was telling her like bathroom bang story, something hit my wall that my back is against, and that faces the alley, and I'm like, I hope it was just the wind. Like,
Oh my god.
Yeah, hopefully.
No, literally I got freaked out the other day because I heard something banging against the wall, but it was repetitive.
No,
But okay. It's not creepy.
Like-
It's not creepy, but it's a bed frame that was repetitive. And I'm like, my neighbors. I was scared at first, but then I was like,
that's a little.
that's not a ghost.
Hang on, let's real quick. Let's just check
Mommy's
the,
like,
the rhythm.
she's like getting the rhythm.
matching-
She's like,
yeah.
okay,
I
get
know.
it.
I'm like,
Get
oh
it.
yeah, that's the rhythm. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the rhythm. Unless it's two ghosts having sex, there's no way it's not.
good for you in the afterlife if you're getting it on.
I know,
Yeah.
dude. Like if you're getting it and you're already dead, I mean,
I
good
better
on
be
you.
getting some ghost herpes in the afterlife. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm.
Lami, your story reminds me like one time, like when I was younger, like it was my own house, and like I heard banging. Like I thought it was in my dream because it's at night when I was sleeping. I remember hearing banging, and I remember waking up and seeing my face looking back at me, like
Ugh.
right here. And I don't know if it was like a fever dream, like if I was sleeping or if not, but I just remember like screaming, and my mom came running in, and she won't tell me. I'm like, Mom, did you see anything? You know, she won't tell me if she saw anything or not. Because it could have just been, you know, a weird dream that I was having that felt like real life. But yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
that's
spooky. I'm glad I'm
weird.
not in that house anymore.
Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
Mm-mm.
Speaking of houses, we're glad we're not in anymore. Lobby, was that the
Here's
end of your
Abby.
Was that the end of your tales?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I have more, but I mean, if you guys want to take turns, you
We can
like, I
well,
mean,
Yeah.
okay, yeah. We'll circle back. Okay, so I get oh yeah, I forgot the music for yours last time. Hang on. We gotta do this again. Hang on. Real quick. Just a quick
The spooky vibes.
just a Ooh. Hang on, let me turn it up a little bit louder just for a second. Ooh, spooky. All right. So this is the story of my dad's motherfucking house. Okay. So it's in an old, okay. Let me paint you a picture. This house is in a older neighborhood in my city. It not the oldest neighborhood, I would say, but very close to like one of the heritage neighborhoods. This house it's 3 stories. So there's the top floor, the main floor, and the basement. It's a white what do they call it? What's the not paneling, the siding, white siding all around it, black roof, chimney coming out of it. We got a rickety set of stairs leading up to the front porch or whatever. and super overgrown with plants. The front lawn,
Okay, so
It's
very
clear.
much like haunted house kind of vibes when you're driving by.
yeah, very much
Like
like the
Monster House.
yeah, Monster House vibes for sure. The front window is like it's a bigger window, but it's like a very old fashioned kind of window. Like you don't really see windows
Mhm.
made like that anymore. It's like divided into like a bunch of smaller windows. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like the
pane. Yeah.
yeah, they're
Mhm.
like a couple inches wide or whatever each
Mhm.
section in the window kind
Yeah.
of thing. And they're just like tiny little squares. Boop, 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 boop. So it was probably a nice house. But it was older and you know, we had kind of been letting it go over the years and whatever. And Cheesecake, don't interrupt me. I'm trying to set the scene here. So I'm walking through the house, you know, again, a lovely home.
Mhm.
There were like some doors had like glass doorknobs, but the thing was because they were so
Ooh.
old, you would like turn one and then pull and it would just come out of the door. And so there were maybe a couple of times where we were locked in different rooms throughout the house by accident because the doorknob had come out. Terrifying on its own, especially when you're like, I don't know when my dad's gonna be home from work and I'm just
Oh,
stuck in
God.
this room. Hopefully I can find something to help me get my ass out of here. I kept a butter knife in my room after that just for the sole purpose of breaking my ass out of my bedroom if I ever locked myself in by accident. Anyway, floors super like wooden floors, super creaky. Like it's just this house it's nice, but it was fucking creepy, okay? It definitely had I hosted Halloween parties there for years
Mhm.
because the vibes were just immaculate.
Everyone's like, yeah, spooky house.
Yeah, I'd be
Mhm.
like it would be kind of like coming around like, you know, high school, you know, early college years, whatever. It would be coming around to like planning the Halloween get together parties and everybody would look at me immediately kind of thing. So like, so Halloween party, and I'd be like, Halloween party, bitches, let's fucking go. But
Let's
anyway,
go.
also
Let's
lighting
go.
was like super lacking in this.
Okay.
There
so
was
very dim.
there was no
spooky.
overhead lighting except for like in the kitchen is the I think the
That's
only
my place right now.
yeah. There
Okay.
was the living room, there was a fireplace, but we only had like lamps that had like warm lighting. Like it
Mhm.
was again, vibes, all immaculate. But anyway, I'm tangenting a little bit too much. So I guess we'll start with my imaginary friend from when I was a kid, a youngin.
Oh,
Oh.
God.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Now she was a young girl, but not as young as me, I would say. She was a little bit older than me. At the time, I was, again, pretty young when I had her, when I would
Mhm.
be talking to her and hanging out with her. And so I don't remember what age, to be honest. But anyway, point is, she had blonde hair, blue eyes, and I called her Emily. And she never spoke a word, ever. She never talked.
So she just like stared at you and like pointed at things?
Yeah, we would just be like playing together and stuff. Like I had like Barbies or like whatever toys or my whatever hanging around, and we would just play together. And I would talk to her for fucking hours. And you know, my dad and my stepmom always were like hearing me talk to her, and they were like, "Oh, who are you talking to?" And be like, "Oh, it's Emily," you know, ha ha ha. And they'd be like, "Okay, yeah, your friend Emily, your friend." And you know, they were trying to be like cool about it, but they were like, they knew that house was fucking haunted, and they were like,
Mhm.
if this is supposedly her friend, you know, we're just gonna roll with it. We're not gonna do anything about this. You know, let her have her moment. But yeah, no, Emily, nothing ever weird happened with Emily. It was just like, I remember over the years of me growing up, even after I stopped talking to her, I always felt like she was there in my bedroom. Every time I went into my bedroom, I felt like she was
that is
there.
terrifying.
I would just immediately be like, she's here. But like, no, she was my imaginary friend. And now I'm like, I don't know if she was your imaginary friend, girl. I don't think she was imaginary. Anyway, so that's the first bit.
Bailey,
Second
back,
bit.
don't freak me out.
I know. Your dog, yeah.
Dog.
Bailey comes in.
She's like, I'll protect you from the ghost, mama. Second thing. Things were always going missing in this house. Things were going. Now, I have ADHD, so I know things just go missing from time to time. Like, I will be like, where the fuck did I put my keys? They're in your hand, you fucking dumbass. Okay? I get that. But it was like, sometimes it was my stuff that would be going missing that I had specifically left in my room for a reason on my dresser. Or like, it would be my dad's wallet. His wallet and his keys were always going missing. And he always kept them by the front door. But some days randomly, they would just not be there. And then he would find them hours later in that in the like kitchen in the basement. Shit would be often. The weirdest part was we would find it usually in the basement when we would lose stuff. I don't know.
Did that become like the first spot you started looking when like things went missing? You're like basement.
Usually, yeah, I think it did kind of start becoming that way. I didn't always live there, so like for me, it wasn't as big of an issue. But for them, they probably did start like, you know, looking in the basement first. But every time something every time something would go missing, 90% of the time it would be in the basement. And I don't know why it would be in the basement, because the basement had a really bad flooding issue. And like, oh, another creepy thing about this fucking house. Yes, not only was it flooding all the time in the basement, ivy was growing through the walls and foundation in the basement.
So like extra spooky vibes.
Yeah. Ivy is a very invasive plant, but like it was growing into the walls, and like over the years you would see it spreading further and across the walls, and it was just like, ooh, yippee-ki-yay, baby. Anyway, so there's that. Shit going missing. I remember one time in this house as well, I was up in my bedroom, and I mean, you can always hear when somebody is walking around in this house. Creaky fucking floors, creaky stairs, creaky everything. There's no being stealthy. No, there's no. If you're
sneaking around.
When I would sneak out, I'd be like, you know what? They're heavy sleepers, and if I do wake them up, it's like, whatever. What am I gonna do? I can't do anything. But it was super. It was always like, okay, you can hear somebody walking around. I remember hearing somebody walking around on the main floor. I was in my bedroom was upstairs, by the way. At the time, I remember hearing somebody walking around on the main floor, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's probably my dad or my stepmom, either going to the bathroom, getting food, having a smoke, whatever. Sometimes though, I would go downstairs. I was bored and a curious kid, so I would sneak down the stairs, and I had learned the spots on the stairs that wouldn't make noises. So I would sneak down the stairs, and I would listen in on the living room to see, like, you know, what TV shows were they watching, or like, you know, just like spying on your parents, not your grandparents, your parents, whatever. just a little bit. I think it's normal to do that as a kid, trying to sneak in.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be in bed, but you're like, what are they doing? What are they up doing?
Yeah, well, this time around, when I was sneaking down, I was hearing the floors creaking. All the lights were off. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, maybe they were just trying to keep the lights off. They're just going in the bathroom. I decided to be a little peek more around the corner. Bathroom light off. And I'm like, okay, this is not where the fuck are they? And then I hear for layout purposes, so the stairs going up, so there's the front door, there's the living room that has the fireplace, that has the creakiest of flooring, so like you know somebody is walking around in there. Like it's clear as day. Bathroom and some bedrooms are offshoots from the living room. And then also there's the kitchen is connected to the living room as well, and the stairs to upstairs are from the kitchen, but it's like right where the living room is connected. So if you're standing at the bottom of the stairs, you can see into the living room clear as day. If anything, some of the kitchen is blocked off because the wall of the kitchen and the stairs, the shared kitchen and stair wall is blocking a lot of your view. So I heard all the creaking in the living room. I was like, oh hell no. I'm like, okay, where are they? Where the heck are they? Or are they normally they just will like crack the front door and have a smoke that way or whatever. Like they're not gonna go outside or go out back or anything. So I'm like, okay, they're not in the bathroom. Where did they go? I hear creaking behind me in the kitchen all of a sudden. So I turn around, nothing there. I saw maybe a shadow, but I have dark hair and I whipped around. So I kind of chalked it up to, I was like, oh, it's just my hair. And I'm like, where the fuck is this creaking coming from? And then I hear it going downstairs into the basement. And at that point, I'm tapping out. I'm like, so I'm going to bed. I'm going to do what the good kid in me is supposed to do and go the fuck to bed. Because at that point, I am terrified. I am actually so terrified. My sister and I, sometimes we were super chill with the house, but there was sometimes we were like, no, I want out of this house. We were terrified of that house sometimes. Like it was bad.
Sounds terrifying, honestly.
You know, like, you know, Lami, how you were like, oh, I never went to the bathroom at school. Kind of thing because of that shit. We would go all night not going to the bathroom. We would we would just stay up in our bedrooms all night so we didn't have to deal with it. Last story to do with my house. Last story to do with this house. And this one I actually told recently on Wolf's one of Wolf's streams. But this one is just fucking weird. Cheesecake, get off my desk and don't fight me on it. Thank you.
Cheesecake's like, I'm part of this.
So there is a indigenous population to northern Canada, called the Inuit. People would call them, I don't know if I'm actually should say this word, Eskimo, that word.
Yes.
It's considered a slur, so that's why I'm not saying it. But it's that population. And there is a symbol that's commonly associated with the Inuit peoples, called Anunukshuk. If you're Canadian, you probably know what this is. If you're not Canadian, I'm about to explain it to you. It's basically a pile of stones to be made into a shape of a person. Not a very realistic person, mind you, but because you're working with rocks here, but they were usually used as like markers. Why is my phone beeping? Sorry about that. They were usually used as like markers of like, you know, different territories and like basically helping you find your way along and all that. I don't know too much about it because I'm not Inuit, but maybe we'll share some pictures of what those things look like on Twitter later. So anyway, they were typically indigenous to the more Arctic regions of Canada, but you would see, especially in like northern Ontario, like the northern part of provinces, you could see them, and there are Inuit people living around where I live as well. And you would occasionally see Inukshuks around and all that, and you could buy novelty ones as well.
Of course,
right?
Of course, you can buy.
You know, because of course, why not capitalize on indigenous cultures? Am I right? Anyway, so one day, me, my dad, my stepmom, and probably my sister too, we're all gardening. Big gardeners, my dad's side of the family. Me, not a big gardener. Suck black
No.
thumb. That's me. But my dad, big gardener, and they have me on digging duty. And we had this big tree in the backyard, and I'm waving my hands up in the air as if you guys can see my hands right now, just to show you
She's
how
like,
big the tree is big tree. And I'm digging up there, and my little shovel suddenly dunk hits something hard, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck is this? Interesting. And I start digging some more, and I'm like, oh, it's just a big old rock. I keep digging. I'm like, a couple rocks stuck together, and I keep digging. Fucking pull out a fucking Inukshuk out of the middle of my fucking garden. I might be mispronouncing the word, sorry. Buried underneath a tree, not underneath it, but right beside a tree, buried in the garden. It's sitting there, and I'm like, what the fuck is this doing in my backyard? Why is this buried in my backyard? I'm freaking out because it's like, okay, I have indigenous heritage, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to be pissing off nobody's ancestors, okay? Nobody wants to be pissing off nobody's ancestors. So, you know, we dig it up, and it was my dad, who is my white parent, looks at it, and he's like, let me go get your stepmom, who is also coincidentally indigenous herself. And my dad had a type. So she comes over, and she's like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna put that up, and you know, we're gonna do a little sage and some sweetgrass and some tobacco around here, and you know what, let's just throw some cedar in there too, and maybe we'll do a little offering plate as well, and like all these things, because like we're not gonna be pissing off no fucking ancestors today. No siree. And I don't think anything came of it, but I do just want to say, of all the fucking places that we find an Inukshuk buried in the ground, it's in my dad's goddamn house, where that is already so fucking haunted, 100% haunted.
Just add to it.
And just add to it that it's like, oh, look at that. It's just like, now, mind you, it was like more of a novelty one, because like Inukshuks, they're typically just balanced rocks. They're not actually stuck together by any means. But, you know, that doesn't mean that this isn't important to somebody. Obviously, the fact that it was buried there. And it wasn't like, oh, it fell over and just got covered up by a little bit of dirt. Like, no, I dug down like probably a good 2-3 feet. I was digging because I was a kid and I was digging, you know, like, but even I knew when I dug,
I'm going for it.
Even I knew when I dug that bitch up, I was like, nah, that's not a good thing to dig up. So anyway, that's the story of my dad's spooky white house and how much of a red flag it was.
Dang.
Yeah. Nice.
That is spooky.
Do you think that your little imaginary friend was taking stuff and taking it to the basement?
I feel like
It was actually me in the afterlife in Phasmo.
I don't think
from the truck to the basement.
Yeah, oh my god. I don't think she
Piling
was
the
the only
plates up down
entity in
there.
that house, because she was not hostile by any means. She was just quiet girl playing games with me, you know. I think if anything, it might have been a bit more of a sinister entity, because my dad and stepmom in particular, you know, have theories about demons being in this house, or like something really hostile, because there have been times where they have like gotten hurt or almost gotten hurt. I guess I could say there was one time I did get hurt I totally forgot about this. Oh my god, memory unlocked.
Abby's like, I blocked this out. Like, it was too traumatic.
It's not serious. But asterisk, a bit of a warning here. It slightly graphic. It's not like mauling or maiming or anything like that, but it was still kind of blood. There's your warning there. We were cleaning out the basement.
Oh god.
Of course, it's the basement. Of course.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was, because the thing is, we didn't like keep any it's such a foggy memory, to be honest. I don't remember all the details. What I do remember is that it was just mainly old boxes and like, you know, some
Kind of
garbage.
storage.
Like it was,
sort of.
yeah, like it wasn't. You don't typically just find random broken glass. You normally are very aware of the
True.
fact of broken glass being around, I think, because you hear a shatter
Mm-hmm.
and then you clean it up, right?
Yes.
Well, this thing, what was it? What was it that broke? It was a bottle. It was a glass bottle that I think Melissa I'm trying to remember what she used it for. She used it for something, but she had put it in storage a long time ago. Anyway, we never heard a shatter or anything like that, and we saw it. We saw it in the box that we were moving. We were moving one of these boxes. Never heard a shatter. And then at one point, so we get it put out of the way, and it's like, whatever, it's fine. And then at one point, I am crawling around on my hands and knees to, you know, get something from out underneath of a shelf or whatever, because I was smaller. I could reach it a bit better. And I reach back in there, put my other hand down for balance.
No.
And the head of the glass, like the bottle, like the lip part or whatever, had been gets embedded into my hand. It was pretty bad. I didn't end up needing stitches, thankfully. It wasn't like a through and through. It was a very small piece. But
gosh.
I pick up my hand and I'm like, oh, and I take it out and I'm like, bleeding. And, you know, we get it taken care of and it's fine. Didn't need any shots, didn't need anything like that, thank God, because we didn't go to the hospital. But, yeah, it was the head of the mouthpiece of the bottle had snapped off somehow. Just the mouthpiece. Just the mouthpiece. Like, the rest of it was fine. So there was that. That is a weird thing that happened because we don't even know how it got there, because we didn't hear a shatter. We were down there the whole time. We had eyes on the bottle like 5 minutes prior. Like,
that's weird.
It was very weird how that fucking happened. So we do have some theories that there are some hostile entities in that house. It is no longer in our family. We do not live in that house anymore. They don't live in that house anymore. I haven't lived in that house for a long time. Obviously, I'm an adult now, so I haven't been living. I mean, people live with their parents. What am I talking about? Well, you know what I mean. Like, you know, I haven't needed to live there or anything like that. So that's just a lot of eerie shit that happened in that house. Anyway, I've gone on for a long enough period of time. Thank you for hearing me out there. Spooky fucking house, though. Don't recommend it.
That
Sounds
sounds
creepy
scary.
as hell.
I wouldn't want to live there.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. I
Big nope.
concur.
Big
Oh.
nope for me.
All right. Oh, do we
Okay,
want
is
to?
it my turn?
Yeah, girl. It's
No,
your
we don't have to right now if you guys want to take a little break or whatever you were about to say.
Do we need a? Do we need a? Do I want? I mean, a quick fiver would let me pee.
Mhm.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
yeah. If you have to pee,
Yeah.
then yeah, we can take a little break real quick.
Little breaky break.
Intermission.
Break time.
I'll do an
Intermission.
intermission. And this is the intermission song. We'll see y'all soon. Yeah, I'll put on some music that will be cut out in post. Winky face to Neon. Because she's the main editor. Because she's great. Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
You gave me a heart attack.
Figured while everyone is making their way back, I'd finish my food.
Hell yeah. This is a stream exclusive moment, guys. Neon eating her soup ramen thing. Noodles.
Gluten-free ramen.
Hell yeah. Like you got a good slurp in there. You want to do a good slurp?
Mhm.
Yeah, get a good.
I feel like I'm gonna get on the mic if I slurp.
Yeah, I didn't pick up at all.
Yeah. I have to
Welcome
be
back, Zombie.
like my noise stuff is very sensitive. So little noises it doesn't pick up on very much.
All right, are we ready to continue? I'll say like a welcome back thing and then. Okay. Okay, and welcome back, everybody. We had our little intermission. If we were super duper cool, that would have been like an ad read moment, wouldn't it? That would be cool.
Yeah, that would have been. We would have been able to throw that in there.
Maybe
get
one
there.
day. I feel like
We'll
maybe
get
one
there.
day.
We're close.
Yeah.
We're close.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right, are you ready for a goodie but longy?
Absolutely. This is the
Heck
moment
yeah.
we've all been waiting for, Brandy. Absolutely.
All right. I did a little deep dive for y'all even.
Oh, hang on. Let me do a
Let's
little
go.
spooky music moment real quick.
Ooh.
All right.
Let me just pull up the music and then we go. Ooh.
Oh, it's very moody, very
It is
spooky.
super spook.
All right, and then I'll just bring it back down again real quick. All right, tell us your tale.
All right, so we start our story in Pepperell, Massachusetts in 1986.
Oh, this is gonna be
Ooh.
good. This is gonna be good.
Ooh.
Big hair and everything.
Mhm.
So, 15-year-old Tina Bowen and her 12-year-old sister Karen would sadly have their world shattered when they lost their mother to cancer.
Oh, shit.
Um, yeah, it's so sad.
It's sad.
Unfortunately, because of this, Frank, their father, would have to work longer hours just to keep the family afloat, resulting in the girls often being alone and obviously lonely because they have no mom anymore. Their dad's always gone. They're just, what the hell are you going to do in 86?
Like, I don't know, go kick a lamppost or something.
Seriously. So
Go
they
play
were
with the stick.
they were super lonely until one day the phone rang and a boy who said his name was Danny was on the other line. He told so I don't know, maybe they had two phones, but he ended up talking to both girls a lot, like at the same time. I have no idea. I don't
Landlines.
know. Yeah,
Landlines
like-
have
use
that
land-
feature.
But like, was he talking to them separately, or like they were all talking on the same phone?
Well, I
type
think
of
they were all talking at the same time. It didn't really say, but they did have like landlines for sure. I know for a fact back in 86 they did not have speakerphone. Like
thing? No,
No. No, like landlines,
Uh.
you can like two people can be on the call in the
Mhm.
same house at the same time, can't they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I always hated that because I'd be on the phone. So with this boy that my mom set me up with, it was her like accountant's son, and I was on the phone one time, and she's like, "How are you guys doing?" I'm like, "What are you doing?"
What if we were like phone sexing or something?
God
You know, like
dang, lady,
you nosy.
Some privacy.
this is awkward enough. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but so, anyways, he had told the girls that he had gotten their phone number from a friend who had gone to the same school as Tina. So he was like a boy from another school.
Ooh.
He told them that he was a good-looking, athletic, blonde fella, well-educated from the area.
Mm-hmm.
And soon, Danny and Tina became well acquainted after their many phone calls, and one evening decided to go on a little date.
Oh.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, except for when Danny showed up on Tina's doorstep, she was shocked because instead of an athletic blonde boy she was expecting, her date was a greasy, disheveled, dark-haired boy who she did not think was cute at all.
Oh
Oh,
Oh
no, the first
no,
God.
no,
catfish.
no,
She
no.
catfished the hell out of, or he catfished the hell out of her.
Oh my god.
Well, like, even though Tina wasn't at all interested, she still wanted to be nice because it's the 80s and you have to be nice to boys.
Oh
So
God.
she
Disgusting.
decided, she's like,
Disgusting.
yeah, I guess we can go on our date. They would go to the local fair, but after about an hour or so, Tina would make an excuse and just was like, I gotta go. Little sister's home alone. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she just kind of like she like stopped. So I was moving too far ahead in the story. So sorry. During their date, though, Danny discovered that Tina and Karen had recently lost their mother, leaving only their father to care for them. And apparently, he took a super interest in the details of her death. Like,
Oh. Mm.
Oh.
it
Oh.
was said
Oh
to be
God.
much more than simple curiosity. Um, Tina later would claim that it seemed as though he was obsessed with the death of her mother, continually questioning her on how she felt at the moment she died and how much she suffered. So the kid's a creep.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Danny. No.
No, Danny.
No,
No.
No,
Danny.
indeed. So Tina would stop taking calls from Danny and she didn't willingly see him again. Once again, she would become sad and lonely. So one night, Tina and Karen attempted to contact their mother by performing a seance in their basement with a Ouija board.
Oh
Oh.
God.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
they
Oh
weren't.
no.
I know. First of all, like you have this creepy dude show up your house. Now you're gonna like try and contact your poor mom in the afterlife with a Ouija board. You need to get your stuff figured out, Tina.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
should have just do what normal girls do, please.
Mourn the death in a normal way.
Yeah,
S-
like just do a regular seance without a Ouija board. That's
for
Mhm.
real.
obviously.
They weren't really expecting much from this, just like hoping to be a little closer to their mom. However, that same evening, Karen and Tina received a rhythmic knocking against their bedroom walls as they slept.
Oh God.
Oh
It
no.
it appeared as though the girl's seance was successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
shit. Honestly, I would shit a brick.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I do more than just shit a brick.
Uh-huh.
I
I'd be
would
Shit a
do a
whole
deceased.
lot
house.
by poop.
Yeah.
Um, in the dead of the night, the girls spoke to the unseen force as though they were talking to their mother one more time. They asked the spirit questions, to which it replied via knocks against the wall. And it seems that the girls had truly
Ugh.
uncovered a supernatural force at work.
Ugh.
No. I have a story kind of related to that that I can tell at a different time.
Look forward to
It's a
hearing it.
like a personal story.
Oh yes. Yes.
Um, so this continued for several evenings until the knocking became so regular that it disturbed the girls' sleep. Over time, objects in the house began to disappear. Items which were laid out on a table one day would find themselves strewn across the floor the next. The girls would come home to find furniture moved from one side of the room to another, and eventually Karen and Tina believed they were being haunted by a malevolent demon, not the spirit of their mother as they had originally believed.
Oh,
Oh
How
no.
disappointing.
I know. Like
Oh
it's not
God.
mom, it's a demon.
Just
Okay.
kidding. I'm here for your soul.
Like, oh god.
Just
no.
kidding. But it was
Catfished
fun. But it was
again.
funny, huh?
Catfish
real.
again.
She got double
Bullshit.
catfished on the same
Mhm.
damn day.
I
Yeah.
know, dude. What the hell?
So the girl's father believed it was the girls themselves who were causing the like stuff to go on in their home. The
Of
girls
course they
claimed,
would.
yeah, they never believed the children. Why is it
They
in like
No.
don't.
scary movies you never believe your children when things are going on? Like, come on.
I know they're
Yeah.
always like, it's nothing. Like, just go to bed. And they're
Like
like,
if
no.
this is just me, but if my daughter were to be like, "Mommy, look who I'm playing with," or "Mommy, look," about to leave you and her here.
It was nice knowing you for your last 4 years. Goodbye.
I know it was nice knowing you.
I
Like
don't think this
in
is working out anymore.
like in fucking Scream when she's freaking out because fucking Ghostface is like, you come out right now or Ashley dies. I'd be like, oh yeah, bye Ashley.
Bye.
Or like
Bye
those
Ashley.
those like memes that I've seen lately. They're like, "Dad, there's something in my closet," and like the dad's like, "Shut the hell up! I don't want to hear that. That's scary." Like,
Shut the fuck up.
you deal
I
with
don't wanna
that
go.
shit.
That's your closet.
Sorry, not sorry. Bye. So the girls claimed to their papa that they believed they were they had unknowingly allowed a vengeful ghost into their home. But Frank refused to believe such absurdity could be
Oh,
real.
God.
He's like,
Oh,
ghosts ain't real,
no.
bitch.
Oh no.
Ghost
be real.
fake.
Instead, he highlighted the fact that his daughters were just emotionally struggling with the death of their mother. No shit.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
What?
Bitch, you're never there.
No shit. They contacted her through a Ouija board. Of course they're struggling.
Yeah, what
For
the
real,
fuck,
for
bro?
real.
Mhm.
L on the dad.
For real. So, one evening in January 1987, a strange knocking had begun while Karen and
It's
Tina
the
were
bite of
alone in
87.
their front room.
So sorry. Nettie Fosbear.
Freddy
Freddy
Fazbear.
Fazbear. Horror, 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 horror.
Sorry, Brandy. Go ahead.
You're-
Sorry, Freddy.
so, at this point, the constant tapping had become so commonplace that it was driving the girls crazy. This particular evening, however, it seemed that the noises were not coming from the walls but from the basement.
He's in the
Oh.
Basements
Oh,
in general
no.
are
Forget the
scary as
basement. It's
shit.
always
Yeah.
the basement.
It's
I don't-
always the basement.
I ain't a fan of basements.
Don't
Dude, that's
crawl
why I'm
around on
so
your hands
glad
and knees
here-
down there, girly.
I'm
Trust
so
me.
glad here in Texas that we don't have basements, dude.
We
Fuck
don't
that
have
shit.
basements where I grew up either because we were on the coast. So we're like,
Fuck
thank
that
you.
shit.
Basements are a normal thing here.
Yeah, they're pretty
Ugh.
common.
Bitch.
Well, basement's it's called a Michigan basement, where it's just like rocks and like cement and stuff. So it's like not even like, it's kind of like a cellar down there.
Mm.
Nah,
Mhm.
dude. I hate basements. Hate them.
Basements give me the heebs, honestly.
And
They
the
freak my
Jeeves.
shit.
So you sprint up the stairs.
Well, yeah, it's like if the light switch is down there, do you have to sprint up the stairs after you turn? No, thank you. I will
Yeah,
leave
no,
that light
no,
on
no, no.
until.
Pull the
Okay.
light string.
I told Nightfall this. We are never getting a house with a basement or with an upstairs. Has to be one story.
Yeah, ranch.
Oh
As
my
long as
Yeah.
like
god, I
we
would.
only
No
do ranches.
attic.
No, not even a ranch.
Not
One
Attics are
story
gross too.
suburban
Mhm.
house. No upstairs, no basement, nothing.
not even a
We are
not even a
I
tiny
don't
attic.
care if we have to die in the hurricane. We are staying in the
Oh
one-story
my
house.
God.
I don't know where the hell. Okay, so armed with a kitchen knife, the two girls made their way towards the source of the noise, which was in the damn basement. As they crept down the stairs, they were greeted with an ominous sight. Written in blood red on the basement wall was the message, "I'm in your room. Come and find me."
Yeah!
Ew.
No!
No.
No!
No.
Side note,
Nope, nope, nope,
listeners,
nope,
if you
nope.
are not watching or just listening, first of all, mwah, thank you so much. Mommy was holding up her tripod like one would hold up a knife and with, like biting
was
her
giving
lip
a visual.
wide-eyed, just like
She was giving a visual of the girls walking into the basement.
She's doing it again. Oh my god! I can't even
She looks
describe that
like she wanted to-
expression.
Honestly, she looks like she wanted to see that demon with that last one.
She did. She was like, "Hey,
Hey there, demon.
Yeah.
Hey!
I'd be on like, come and find me. I'm in your basement. You forgot the apostrophe, sir.
Lonnie's
spell it-
correcting the grammar.
They spell it Youre instead of Your.
Oh my God.
I'm in
That's
your
the wrong
room.
your.
Bitch
So
probably
the
never did a
girls,
spelling bee.
probably
go.
not. It's a damn demon.
Did you suck at school?
So the
Because you were
girls.
in the bathroom?
I lost the
Sorry,
spelling bee.
sorry.
I was too busy pounding on the bathroom door.
Scaring the second graders. Him at the demonic spelling bee. Spell Beelzebub.
I'm sorry you forgot an L in that. You are disqualified.
Oh.
Sorry. Okay. Anyway, the girls fled the house without hesitation and called why did I write that like that? So they left the house and went to their neighbors. And while they waited for like the neighbor I'm pretty sure he was out like on a date, and like the neighbor called him up and was like, "Hey," at the restaurant, and was like, "Hey, you need to come home now." And so the girls like waited for their father to return and told him what they found in the basement. And like again, because he's been out before and they've been like, "Dad, something bad happened. You have to come home." And he had to rush home a few times, and there's nothing there because it's a ghost. And he's like, "Fuck you, girls. I'm on a date. Like, come on."
Oh my God.
So it took him a minute to actually get home. But when he finally got there, he still was like, "You guys are so stupid. Let's go take a look." And like he saw the
They're
stuff and
full of
thought
shit.
he thought that they were the ones responsible for it still. Um and he ordered them to go to counseling because he's like, "You guys are just like, this is a cry for help because I know
Oh,
you miss your
God.
mom. So we're going to put you into counseling to help with your brains
Oh
instead of
my
like believing them."
God.
Oh my gosh.
What
Um,
a dingus. I want to drop kick him so bad. I just want to
For
fucking
real.
punt his
Fucking
ass
dingus, dude.
to the fucking moon. Fuck that guy. Sorry. The rage I
No.
feel.
Fuck the dad.
The
in that
rage I
story.
feel.
The dad's a walking
It's always
hell.
like the dad too. It's mom's always like, "Yeah, there's some weird shit going on here." The dad's like, "You guys are stupid. Go to fucking therapy."
Mm-hmm.
If
Mm-hmm.
the
Dad's a
mom was there,
walking
she would
hell.
believe it.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be
Damn
like, "Yeah, no, we're
straight.
moving. We're selling this house and we're getting out of here."
Goodbye
Mm-hmm.
forever.
Literally.
Damn straight.
So several weeks later, a similar incident happened, with even crazier results. The girls heard knocking sounds again, but this time it came from behind Tina's bedroom wall.
Yay.
He's in the walls. He's in
That's
the
what we
goddamn
needed.
walls.
Yeah, exactly, the walls. When the two girls entered, like they went out of the room to see if maybe they could find it, and when they came back in, they were greeted with a message written in blood red on the wall, "I'm back, find me if you can."
Oh.
Forgot the apostrophe again.
Oh my God.
That'd be so
I'm-
terrifying.
I'm
Like
back
I'd be
with a
like,
K.
if I
So
were them, like I'd be setting up cameras. Like I know
Kim
back
back?
then. Huh?
I'm back.
Oh, Nami said I'm back with a K, and then I was like,
Oh.
Kim
Oh yeah,
back?
I'm back with a K. BAK.
Oh. I was so
just like, Kim
confused.
I was like,
back?
back then I would have been setting up cameras. Like I know you'd have to go and like get it all developed, but like I'd be setting up and be like, "This is not us. This is a
You have to
ghost."
have those huge ones that you would like carry on your shoulder and shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're like a VHS setup, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the girls ran to the neighbor's house and called their dad to come home, and again he blamed Tina and Karen. He's just like, "Why are you girls still doing this shit? You're in therapy. Like, you're supposed to be fixed by now."
I'm seeing a
he was-
pattern.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was like super pissed. Like when he finally came home, he marched straight into the house to prove there was nothing inside. However, once he entered the house, he noticed that there had been further like disarray, so more shit was fucked up than what the
Oh.
neighbor and the girls had previously claimed. And then it became apparent that someone had been inside the house when Frank, the girls, and the neighbor were all assembled like outside.
Mhm.
Oh.
So
Uh-huh.
Frank went upstairs to see like the damage from the blood red whatever. So he entered Tina's room, and there was a new message printed on the wall. It
Oh
said,
no.
"Marry me."
Ugh.
So,
What the
um,
fuck?
This ghost is pulling the Riz apparently.
her wall now says "Marry me," and Frank's looking into this room, and on the other side of the room, he is greeted with something super cray. A young boy stood dressed in the clothing of Frank's dead wife. He was wearing her makeup, a dress, and a blonde wig, and in his hands was a
Ooh.
hatchet.
Is it Danny?
No.
Is it
Ooh.
Danny?
Is it Danny?
I'm
The
pretty
young
sure
boy
it's
was
Danny.
Danny LaPlante,
Fucking knew it! Oh my god,
Yeah, I
Danny!
knew it, dude.
the
You
same
fucking
Danny that
psycho.
catfished Tina.
What a fucking psycho.
That's a psycho.
What a
So-
fucking psycho.
Isn't that insane? There's more. Don't worry.
Oh my god, Danny. Okay, keep
So,
going.
This guy.
um, once Frank and Danny like lock eyes, a struggle ensues, but Danny was able to escape. Frank recalls being dumbfounded at the way Danny was able to seemingly disappear from sight without much effort. When the police were called in to investigate later the same evening, it became clear why he was able to vanish so easily. After discovering that each message had been written in ketchup, local police searched the house for clues.
Ketchup.
Yeah, ketchup. Which that's probably why the dad was like, "You guys are stupid. Stop wasting ketchup. Like,
know,
what is
like-
going on?"
He tastes it. Let's do ketchup.
He's like, "Damn it, where's the blood?"
Oh my god.
It's just ketchup.
Fucking ketchup? It doesn't even look like blood. It looks different. Okay, sorry. Go
Maybe this is like a special, like organic ketchup.
Organic ketchup, maybe. Yeah, that's
Organic
special.
ketchup.
Yeah.
Did they have an
maybe.
organic thing back
Mixed
then?
with
Maybe
cornstarch.
ketchup looks different.
Maybe it was.
Maybe it's
darker.
made better.
So the local police searched the house for clues of how Danny was able to access all the areas. One officer found a hidden crawl space behind a cupboard, which was built into the wall of Tina's bedroom.
Ooh.
Oh god.
When the officer opened the hatch, he discovered Danny LaPlante curled up inside. Yeah, so they-
Ew. So you've been living in the walls?
Yeah, he'd been living in their wall. They actually found like there was a bookcase downstairs right up against the staircase, and if you move that bookcase, there's like a little crawl space that you can get into.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
So he was like tunneling through their house all over the place.
Hell no.
Like a little
He's-
rat. He's a little
He's
rat.
venting. He's
Yeah.
venting.
He's
sus.
venting. Oh my fucking god.
He's sus.
So once Danny had been removed from the scene, officers conducted a thorough search of the residence, and like I said, they discovered he was living in the walls. He had like a secret passageway and tunneled around to other areas of the house. There were also a handful of peepholes dotted around the
Ew.
house, so he
Ew.
could watch Tina in whatever room she was in.
What a creep. What an
That's so
actual
creepy.
fucking creep.
Yeah,
I'd break all of
and
his toes individually.
imagine like not ever feeling safe in your house again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this guy like lived in my walls for like, you know, a little
Dude, that's
bit.
fucking creepy.
I would do every
And then he dressed
single
up like my dead mom. Like, nah.
Ugh.
I
So I read actually that the dress he was in was like their mom's wedding dress.
Oh.
I would
Ooh.
break so many of his body parts. You don't understand.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
little moment that he made me feel uncomfortable, it would be another fucking like pulled off fingernail. Sorry, that's gross. Like I would do
Uh,
like,
No, I'd
I would
go
make him
straight up
pay
the
for
fucking
it.
Tokyo Ghoul on him.
I would make him pay for that
The
shit. Fuck that.
torture.
No, you don't get to
I'd
do
spank
that
him.
shit to me. Fuck you. Sorry, I hate him. I hate him so
I'd
much
bend
right
him
now.
over a chair and spank him.
It's so
Oh,
gross.
it's so gross
That's
what he
so messed
did.
up.
Oh my
With
god.
a plyboard with nails on it.
No. Oh my god. Just
What was that
Ugh,
bat
dude,
from like Walking Dead, Lucille? Just take that bat to him. Like
Oh my
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Dude, that
fuck
made me
that guy.
feel like so uncomfortable. Like very uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. It's like, oh wow. Okay, sorry. Continue your story,
no,
Brittany. 'Cause
we have more story, yeah. This isn't the end.
of course
Oh,
it's not.
God.
Of course it's
course
not.
not.
It actually became clear that Danny was pretending to be their mom, obviously, to like torment them.
Yeah.
It was believed that Danny was planning to reveal himself to the girls while dressed as their dead mother, whether to genuinely pass himself off as her spirit or whether to just scare the hell out of him, who knows? But the police think it was just to scare the hell out of him. And the fact that he was holding a hatchet suggests that Tina and Karen were super lucky they even made it out of the house that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So Daniel LaPlante was born in Townsend, Massachusetts. He suffered a super traumatic upbringing where he was abused in pretty much any way you could think of, mostly by his father. But his
Fuck.
father would also let
Yikes.
other people come in and abuse him as well.
Oh,
my
no.
god. That's
Mm.
horrible.
Yeah. So, Danny's troubled upbringing affected every aspect of his life. He struggled with school, both academically and socially. In addition to being diagnosed with dyslexia, he had like no friends. His classmates in North Middlesex High School referring to him as creepy or weird. Which, yeah, that's kind of creepy to dress up as a dead lady, but whatever.
Yeah. No, that he's not sane. He's not well, obviously.
No.
Yeah.
In his early teenage years, he was referred to by school officials to a psychiatrist due to his abnormal behavior and general reluctance towards his appearance, hygiene, or self-improvement. So not only was he a weirdo, he was the smelly kid in class.
Oh,
Mhm.
no.
Mm. Yay.
So,
Yay.
by age 15, he was breaking into people's homes and not only taking their possessions, but leaving behind items as well, which would freak me out.
Yeah,
Like,
like I'm
you
like,
just
oh, my stuff's missing, but there's this thing in the house randomly.
like imagine
Okay,
like
dude. Oh, sorry. Real quick,
no, go ahead.
but we had that same experience where Nightfall's car got broken into,
Uh-huh.
and because he had left the doors open because the car wasn't running, his car got broken into, and not like there wasn't really anything taken. It was just more moved around. I guess they were looking for
Mhm.
something. But what was left in there was a little girl's pair of shoes.
Ew.
Ew.
Fucking weird.
I don't know if
Ah!
someone maybe mistook it for their car, maybe, because we had seen another car that was similar, but we'd never seen the people who owned it. But it was freaky, dude. It was very freaky.
You are so gross right now. That really freaked my shit and I didn't like it.
That, dude, that was like, it was bad, dude. It was real bad. So we took it to the front office and they were like, okay, we had to call a police officer too because we didn't know what to do. Like, what do you do in that situation? Hello, I'm not robbed, but someone left me these little girl shoes. They don't fit me. They barely fit my big toe, but
I would throw them away and die. Like
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
no, thank you. Just
Oh.
like imagine though someone coming into your home and leaving another family's like family pictures.
Mhm.
I'd be like,
Mm,
that would really mess up my brain. I'm like, who are these people and why are they here?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh
fucking
yeah,
Jim from
absolutely.
The Office.
Yeah.
You don't work here. You're not Jim.
apparently that guy actually, when he's out on the street, they'll be like, hey, it's Jim. Like he gets so recognized by that still.
Oh my
That's funny.
gosh, that's funny.
But yeah, so Daniel would also move items around in their homes in such a way to make it clear like that someone had been there, just to like fuck with people's minds.
Ew.
Eventually, he was invading people's homes purely for the purposes of playing mind games with the owners, which is how he discovered Tina. Um,
Oh.
Jeez. So he was
Yes.
stalking her too.
Well, so the thing is, he broke into their house and then like figured out who she was and got her phone number and then started calling her, and then like stalked her, took her on the date, and then lived in her wall.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. That
Oh my
Yeah.
is
god. That is
that's a whole
terrifying.
nother level. That's terrifying.
That's a Ted Bundy move right there.
Yeah,
That's
it's so gross.
Well, that's a little worse than Ted Bundy. I mean, well, not
Yeah.
as bad. Okay, I'm not saying one killer's worse than the other. You know what I mean? But Ted Bundy was still evil. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, you know,
Yeah.
kid
Um,
was creepy.
my coworker's grandma was like best friends with one of the girls Ted Bundy murdered.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
no.
god.
Yeah.
6
Um,
degrees of
Oh,
separation,
no.
man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I always ask her, I'm like, tell me more. Your
Tell me
grandma's
more.
friend. I need to hear it again. So on December 1st, which I feel like is a long time, December 1st, 1987. Nope. Hold on. I gotta go back. I skipped a whole paragraph. Okay, so the following year, Danny was placed into a juvenile facility where he remained until October of 87. So when did this happen? Like January?
I think.
They put him in a
Yeah.
juvenile center.
Yeah, so he went to juvie. So like it happened in January, and then in October he got out of juvie. So he wasn't there super long.
No.
No,
For
like that's
attempted
like such
murder.
a short.
Almost immediately following his release, Danny returned to his life of burglary. During one of his robberies in November of the same year, he obtained 2 handguns from a neighbor's house.
Oh great. So
Oh.
now he's
Oh
armed.
Oh
yay.
yeah, so now he's
Yeah.
armed.
So this is the part that gets sad. Trigger warning, guys. It's pretty bad. It's children
No.
are
No.
here. December 1st, 1987, Daniel broke into the Gustafson family home around a half a mile from Danny's own family's residence. There, Danny was greeted by pregnant Priscilla Gustafson, 33, and her 2 young children, Abigail and William.
Sorry. I
So
heard my name.
I didn't put down everything he did because it's really gruesome and awful, but I did do like the gist of it. Priscilla's husband Andrew was at work when Daniel invaded his home, and upon returning was met with a pretty much the worst thing he's ever seen in his life because yeah. Andrew discovered Priscilla laying face down on her bed with pillows dyed red with blood
No.
around her. She had been essayed by Danny and then shot multiple times in the head at point blank range.
Oh my god.
Andrew called the police, who then discovered the bodies of the 2 children in different bathtubs. 5-year-old William had been drowned in the upstairs bathroom, while
No.
8-year-old Abigail was downstairs in that bathroom.
Oh jeez.
He had fled the scene, but eventually police would apprehend Danny. He was sentenced to 3 life sentences for the murder of the Gustafson family. Which,
Jesus.
let me look real quick. I'm not sure if this douche canoe is still alive.
That's crazy. Like that's so like
They should have sent him to
messed
Fry.
up.
Is what they should have done.
Well,
Yeah.
it depends on where you're at if that was even a thing.
That's true.
Daniel LaPlante, 35, died unexpectedly Friday, November 20th, 2022.
Oh, so
What?
Gee, I
recent.
wonder what
Recent.
happened. Huh?
I lied. That's the wrong Daniel LaPlante. Why are you
No.
naming your child this?
Note to self: don't name your kid.
Don't.
Note to self: if your last name is LaPlante, don't name your child Dangle.
Don't do
Yeah,
it.
you
It's not worth
basic
it.
bitch. Come on now.
Think of some more creative names. No.
And
Come
please, if
on
your
now.
last name is Bundy, don't name them Ted. Jesus.
Yeah, I do know he was denied parole in 2019.
Well, that's good.
Okay,
I'm not
well,
seeing
he's still
it.
in wherever he's at, you know.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any news on his death. But yeah, so he's still in there rotting where he should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's messed
Yeah.
up.
That is my story.
Bravo.
Oh,
Thank you
bravo.
so
Ooh,
much.
Yes.
that was good, dude.
That was a good one.
That made me feel
Mhm.
uncomfortable and sad.
Every time
perfect.
every time Brandy kept bringing up the knocking, I kept thinking of our like trip to Canada that one night where I just kept hearing knocking coming from the
That was
ceiling.
that was me.
Mhm.
Was
It
it
was
I
actually
walking in
was
the walls.
okay. Literally, I was knocking on the wall and I forgot what I was doing it for. I was just showing Knifeful and Neon got scared. And I'm like,
No, okay,
Neon,
but
that
it
was me.
wasn't just one time. It was like all night long. Like
Maybe
every time
they
I
were.
woke up. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys were just going ham all night long. I don't know.
The same knocking she
Not
heard before.
gonna confirm or deny. But yeah, dude, honestly the place we stayed at up there was crazy, I'll tell you that.
It was
Mhm.
Crazy.
it was lovely, but
It
it
was
was
very
also
nice.
there was
Very
a
spooky.
little bit of a creep factor to it for sure. Especially when we
There
did
definitely was. Especially doing it at night when, we're all about to sleep.
whipping
It
out
just hit something different.
The spirit box.
the spirit box and talking to ghosts. Neon was freaked out. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That ghost really liked Neon.
Yeah, like touching me. That was fun.
Yeah,
was
she
I
fun.
mean,
was freaked
personally,
the
I
fuck
like
out.
touching you too, but patting you on the head.
That was fine. That was okay. That was consensual touching.
The ghost didn't ask for my consent.
And
No,
when
I
we
wanted
go ahead. Yeah, no.
No, it was literally like it felt like this, and it also felt like someone doing like this, like
The
rubbing
thumb.
He's trying to massage
like
you.
very just like a nice little like comforting kind of rub, but like I was like, this is scary because no one's touching me right now.
Yeah, no. Fuck that. And then I mean, I'm not going to get too into the spirit box story just because we are waiting to release that content separately. But,
Mhm.
when there was certain things, certain names came up and I was like, no. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
definitely it was cool. I did
It was definitely
try.
cool, but it was scary.
There
Mhm.
was a
Mhm.
point where when I went down to the room that I was staying in at the Airbnb.
Of course, you and Peppa were in the basement.
Yeah, Babo and I were both in the basement, and the room that I was in had the breaker, the switchboard or whatever in
Mhm.
it, and I wanted to so bad just shut off all the power to freak everybody out, but I didn't want to fuck with anything in the house either. So I only did flipped a couple of switches, and I apparently did not flip the correct switches to scare everybody. Or I don't know if I turned off anything. Do you remember? Did I turn off anything at all with it?
I was
No.
like,
I
if
don't
you
think
did,
so.
it was like not
It was
noticeable.
probably it
But
was
I
probably
will
asleep.
say, like the days afterwards, like the kitchen lights would like flicker a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were
Okay.
flickering.
Well, that shouldn't
So I
have
don't
had
know
any
if maybe-
impact, but
Yeah.
it shouldn't. But it was a little bit of a janky house. Those Airbnbs, they can be a little.
It was
janky.
a little. It kind of looked like a. It was kind of put together. Like they redid areas and like added things and subtracted things. Probably like it's been through some stuff.
Yeah, it's seen some shit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But when we all meet up again, and
Mhm.
this time Brandy and Krusty will be there,
Mhm.
we're gonna
Yeah.
do some real fucking ghost hunting. Let me tell you, 100%.
I'm gonna need Jesus.
I'm gonna,
They scare me.
I'll bring my
Ghosts
sage. I'll
freak
bring
me
my
out.
smudge stick. We will cleanse the shit out of you, and we'll be
Mhm.
good.
Ugh. I grew up in haunted houses, and they still ghosts still freak my shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah, dude, I
don't.
feel you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say, I feel you. I can't, dude. Anything creepy, anything like that, I can't. I've already dealt with little things, and I'm like, nah, fam, I'm good. I'm
I
good.
honestly, it shocked me how much Nightfall was like into the ghost hunting. I thought
Dude,
he'd be
he's
like
Oh my god, dude, this man, he's like, "Oh my god, I love things paranormal." He can watch paranormal shit before bed and be fine. So I'm like, "Okay, if that's the case, I'm taking the corner, you're taking the front, and if the ghost gets you, I'm running."
Oh yeah,
Like, like,
I can do that too, no problem. I'll watch like horror movies or ghost movies like right before bed, no problem. But as soon as the ghost like knocks on my wall or something, I'm like, all right, I'm done. No more.
yeah, yeah, dude, that's me. That's me. I can only watch them during the day though, not before bed. Not before bed. Like I get freaked out. I get super
It
creeped out.
depends. It
Mhm.
depends on the thing. Like if it's a super suspenseful, like jump scary type of movie, like no. Like I'm not
Mhm.
sleeping for a few days probably.
Yeah.
Um
But
if
Michael
it's just kind of like
Myers,
creepy, like
Scream,
it's
all
like
those
whatever.
movies, they don't
Yeah.
freak me out, honestly.
I don't, the serial killer movies don't really scare me, like Scream, like
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Halloween,
A lot of
Texas
people are just
Chainsaw.
idiots in those movies.
I don't get scared by those ones so much, but the
Mm-mm.
supernatural ones, like I
Mhm.
remember when Insidious came out,
Mhm.
that
That
one,
thing,
the
that red thing popping up right behind his head.
exactly,
Oh,
exactly
dude.
that one, the way they cut that was, first of all, chef's kiss, beautifully cut, like the way they had
Mhm.
that where it's like you only got a glimpse of it for a second and then it was back to their fear and it was like, oh, very well done. Good filmmaking. But like,
Yes.
Mhm.
and then they started milking this franchise a little bit and
Yeah.
it went on too long.
Dude, the
and-
way they make horror movies like that, like so like realistic or like not realistic, but like like they edit it so well to the point where it gets a reaction out of you.
Mhm.
It's dude. It's very well edited.
yeah,
What
the
was
horror movies, they need, unfortunately, because horror is so recycled a lot of the times,
Mhm.
newer horror movies, in a way to try and make themselves seem more unique and separate themselves from older horror movies, they show you too much and it takes
Yeah.
away from
Yeah.
the horror of it.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of an example really, but like, I guess, what was it? I don't know if it's considered a horror or a thriller, but the one where you have to be quiet.
Oh,
Oh,
Quiet Place?
the Quiet Place.
Quiet Place?
That's
Quiet
more of
Place.
like
Yeah.
it's a horror movie, but it's like an alien invasion kind of thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think
I haven't
part of
watched it, so I don't know.
part of the I
It's
think
not terrible.
it's not terrible, but I think part of the way that it makes it feel less like a horror movie and more like a thriller alien invasion kind of thing
Mhm.
is because they show so much of the creatures
Mhm.
instead
Oh,
of
yeah.
leaving it to your
Yeah.
imagination, because your imagination is your worst enemy when it comes to horror. You
Mhm.
need
Mhm.
something to just like fill in
Oh,
those gaps.
100%.
You
Well,
see
it's
a
like when
little
you're
Yeah.
like in the
Go ahead.
basement in the dark or anywhere in the dark and you're like,
Mhm.
swear I saw something. And it's
Yeah.
just your
Yeah.
jacket or like whatever, hanging up in the corner.
Yeah,
Or
That's
like
the
your
worst,
cat
dude.
or your dog or like, they
About to
spook
shit
you a
my
little
pants.
bit.
Like right now, like earlier, the camera snapped shut, like just for a second because it does that, and I
Yeah.
freaked myself out. I was like,
yeah.
It's okay. There's a door open next to me, and like I swear I've been seeing things like even like other nights, like not just right now, but like I swear I keep seeing stuff coming in and out of that door. And
Yeah.
it's like
oh god.
I keep
yeah.
glancing at my door too, like making sure that there's nothing there. There's been a few
Yeah.
nights in this apartment that I've like been like, oh, something is like coming in here, and I'm like, no, 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 no. You're just in your head. It's dark and it's spooky, and that's it. You're just in your head, girl.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
be freaked out to go to bed here soon now.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. We gotta talk about like happy things. A little
Halloween
bit.
candy.
Free candy. Oh man, but
Dude.
that was good. I feel like all the stories that we pretty much told were pretty
They were
great.
spooky, yeah.
They
They were
had
spooky,
some spooky
definitely.
dooky vibes. I'm
Spooky.
definitely gonna have a hard time sleeping now. And so
Mhm.
will you, good listener, viewer, whoever you are. Oh my gosh.
You got any spooky stories? Leave them in the comment section.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
comment down
yeah.
below. Comment on
Tweet.
Spotify, on on our Twitter. You can send us some DMs of your spooky stories. Maybe we'll do a
Whatever.
reaction stream,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that could be
podcast
cool.
at some point.
That would be cool. That would be cool. And Brandy, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. This is awesome.
Thank you so much, Brandy.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. It was so much fun. I love telling. I actually really enjoyed having people talk back to me this time.
Yeah.
Normally in
Yay.
stream, I'm just like, so guess what happened? This. Like, I don't have anyone there to respond.
It's kind of like you actually have people who can give you a genuine reaction of like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we'd love to have you back on in the future, of course,
Yeah.
and everything.
Mhm.
Maybe next Halloween, maybe something else. We'll see. We'll see what
Maybe
happens.
do a
Hell
true
yeah.
crime types thing,
Yeah.
Ooh,
we'll
true
see.
crime podcast would also be really fun too.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
That'd be
Yeah.
really fun.
Um, where can people find you, Brandy, online, and where would they be able to find your content?
So on Twitch and Instagram, pretty much everywhere, it is this_Brandy.
Okay, fantastic. So everybody go check her out. If I would be pointing if I had hands, but I don't have hands, so I'll just look in her general direction.
She's
Thank
looking
you
there.
so much for having me.
Yes.
Yes,
And
thanks for
Yes,
joining
of
us.
course. Thank you so much.
and Neon, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch, on YouTube, on Twitter. Pretty much every social media. I'm out there somewhere. It's usually Neon X Lotus or some variation of that, and it should
Your
be a
crawl
picture of my
space
face.
because that's where she is.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in your walls.
She's in the wall.
Get out of my
She's
wall.
actually Daniel.
Damn, Daniel, back
She's
at it
really
again in my
short.
walls.
No wonder he was able to fit in there.
Lami, where can we find you?
You can find me at Mrs. Salami MRS_Salami with 2 eyes on Twitch. You can find me on TikTok. I do a lot of animation, and you can find me on YouTube.
Woo, woo.
What
And-
about you, Abby?
What about
Where
you,
the fuck-
Abby?
I'm so glad you asked. You can find me mainly on Twitch at Abby Dieu. That is spelled ABBIDIEU. That's mainly where you find me. I try to fucking post on TikTok and YouTube, but I'm a bad girl. I'm not good at I'm not good at keeping up with that. So just Twitch reliably. And as for the After Stream 2 podcast, what you are listening to right now, because you're a cool person, you can find us on Spotify and YouTube. And all of our links can be found on our Beacons page at beacons.ai/afterstreamsoup. That's BEACONS.AI/AFTERSTREAMSOUP. Thank you for the little boogie oogie
Doing a
with that.
cheer.
I said, "Brr, it's cold in here. There must be some soup in the atmosphere." I said, "Oh, we oh. Soup.
Soup.
And
Oh my gosh.
thank you so much for everybody who hung out today. And thank you so much to Brandy for coming on and sharing her stories. Excellent storytelling. And yeah,
Very good. Very
you
good.
you guys already know where to
Yes.
find us. Thank you. We're gonna wrap it up there, I think. Everybody
Yep.
say bye-bye and eat your soup.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one, y'all. Eat your soup.
Bye.